Hello, and welcome to this week's Meshekh Chokhmah shir. This week, the Meshekh Chokhmah that I'm picking is from part of Parshas Emor that is laid, either this Shabbos or last Shabbos, depending on where you are, but also on the first days of Sukkot, and if you're in Chutz La'aretz on the second day of Pesach. This is the list of Yom Tovim. So the Meshekh Chokhmah picks as his quote, Chukas olam b'chol mashvosechem l'dorosechem, a law for all time, wherever you live, wherever you dwell, for all your generations. And the full pasuk is, Ukrasem betem hayom hazeh mikra kodesh yeh lachem. On that same day, you will hold a celebration. It will be a sacred occasion for you. You should not do any constructive labor. And then there should be a law for you for all time in all your settlements throughout the generations. But the Meshekh Chokhmah doesn't really pull from this pasuk. He is dealing more with the concept of connection. So before we get into the Meshekh Chokhmah, I want to compare what he writes with two other models of connection. Roshim and Shkaps, obviously, because where else would I go? And Rav Wolbe. So Rav Shlomo Wolbe, in his essay Olam HaYedidut, which was the title of the book, but then the book was reprinted under the name Ben Sheish LaAsor, between 6 and 10, meaning from these were talks he gave between 1967, the Six-Day War, and 1973, the Yom Kippur War. But in any case, this Olam HaYedidut is a concept that Rav Wolbe develops, that the point of Judaism, the entire goal of Yadus, is to create a world of Yedidus, of closeness, of connection. He points out that the word that we use for cruelty or somebody who's callous is achzariot. Achzarius is achzarius, only alienation. And that the goal is connection. And this is why this is the purpose of the Torah, of the Beis Hamikdash, of Binyamin. He lists all these things that are called Yedid, and he says this Yedid closeness is the point of Yadus, and he develops a theme which we also find in the Maharal on Avos. He develops this theme that the three Amudei Ha'olam, the three pillars of the world that Shimon HaTzadik talks about, that's Torah, Avodah, and Mitzvos Chasadim, are means of developing a connection, a relationship. So Torah develops our relationship with our own souls by refining our souls. Avodah shows our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we serve Him, and Gemilas Chasadim develops our relationship with other people. So that is the so that is Rav Wolbe's model of Yedidut, of connecting through this closeness. He says there are three equal primary values because there are three that Shimon HaTzadik talks about, because there are three connections we're being asked to create. In Rav Shimon Shkap's model of connection, it is more reaching out from within. So first, I connect to my soul, because naturally, when we're children, before we develop ourselves spiritually, we identify ourselves with our body. And we think that our body has a soul. And the first step outward from that is to connect to our own souls. And through that, we connect to God. And once we connect to God, we can bring that connection with God to other people. So he has this model of connection, which is also to our souls, to God, and to other people. But there's a clear hierarchy. It's not three primary values. The primary value is to bring God's good to other people. So the ikar, the primary connection, is to other people. And in order to achieve that, we have to develop ourselves and develop our connection to God. With that, I want to now look at the Meshekh Chokhmah, who does not involve this third type of connection, this connection with myself. So let's see what he does say. No. Tibidas Heloki, in the religion that God created, meaning in Judaism, in Yadus, Yesh mitzvah hamakshirin Yisrael avi and Shabbat. There are mitzvos which connect Bnei Yisrael to Hashem, to our Father in heaven. V'yesh mitzvos hamakashrim Yisrael zeh lo zeh. And there are mitzvos which connect Jews to each other. Kamo tzitzis, tefillin, and mezuzah. For example, tzitzis, tefillin, and mezuzah, he mitzvos hamakashirim Yisrael Hashem Yisbarach. They are mitzvos that connect the Jewish people to Hashem. Ugmilas chasadim, doing chesed, utrumos, giving the truma to a kohen, the first of your crop, umaisros, tithing, hema makashim Yisrael zelazeh. These connect Jews to one another. Now, obviously, the question is, what does any of this have to do with Shabbos and Yom Tov? The pasuk in question. U'kamashal zeh, something like this, something similar to this, yesh ben Shabbos Yom Tov, exists in the difference between Shabbos and Yom Tov. Shabbos halolo yatsa ish mikomo. On Shabbos, a person does not go out of their home. V'otza asura, right? You're not allowed to leave Tchum Shabbos. You're not allowed to carry in a public domain. U'melechas ochel nefesh asura. You're not allowed to prepare food. V'imkein kol ish v'ish b'fnei atzmohu. Therefore, each person, it's a personal experience, it's really more like each family, but here he says each person stands on their own. Levado hu yoshev v'osek b'Torah. He sits by himself, he spends his Shabbos studying Torah. Shemim mekusharim el Hashem Yisbarach, these are connections to Hashem. Hamerkaz Hamiti, the true center. Asher kol Yisrael hema kavim nefradim. All of Israel are different roads heading to the same center. Hu Hashem Yisbarach. And thereby they are all connected to him. Kamosh Emor b'Medrash Rabbah, like it says in Medrash Rabbah, Bnei Yaakov shovdim lekel echad nikrein nefesh. The children of Yaakov, who all serve one God, they are called nefesh. They are called a nefesh, not in the plural. Aval Yom Tov, now that is Shabbos, which is more about connecting to Hashem. Yom Tov, hu ham mitzvos hamikashrim hu umazeh. These, there are elements of Yom Tov that is of the mitzvos that connect the nation one to the other. L'chein melechas hochel nefesh mutar. This is why preparing food is mutar on Yom Tov. Vim yovo elef orchim yafa lahem. And if 1,000 guests come, a person is permitted to bake for them. So you see that Yom Tov is providing that kind of connection, that kind of social connection, because you don't have to prepare in advance. And if somebody comes, you could prepare food for them. Ad lo orchim. V'kulan chayavim lalos laregel. Yafalahem ad lorchim. You bake for the guests. V'kulan chayavim lalos laregel. They all have to go to the Beis Hamikdash on the 3 holidays. V'lismoach, and to make others happy. V'lisameach, and to be happy. L'chein ki amru ha'ofem miyom tov. L'chol, somebody who bakes from Yom Tov onto a weekday, Eino Loke, he does not get Malkus. So he's not allowed to bake, because it's Hachana, but it's not Malkus. It's preparing from Yom Tov to the weekday, but you're allowed to cook. Hoel v'chazi hutra hotel v'avara. Also see how carrying in a public domain is allowed, and lighting one thing from another is allowed. Shem Lokain, Lo Yimukusharim Ugadim Zelazek Echad. Otzav Avara, taking out from private domain to public domain, Vavara, and carrying in the public domain, are both permitted, because otherwise we couldn't bring things from one person's house to another, and we wouldn't be connecting to each other as people. However, now he complicates the picture. When you think about this, you'll realize, Ki b'Pesach, Shoraso Haya al Shepesach Shepasach HaMalkam al-Bata B'nei Yisrael b'Mitzrayim, Pesach, where the what comes to teach us is that Hashem skipped over the Jews' houses in Mitzrayim when he came to kill the firstborn. At that point in time, the night of Makas Bechoros, we were not tied together as a nation. Each person was alone in their house. And a person was not allowed to leave their home until the morning. They were all relying on the same idea, taking the carbon, and they were tied through their tie to one person, one God, Hu Hashem Elokei Yisrael. V'lekach haPesach shebaba ra'azu ksiv b'ka eina nechal el minuyo ksiv bei. It says this Carbon Pesach, therefore, because it's commemorating that night where each tried to stay in their own home. It was the Carbon Pesach is only eaten to those who were picked for that Carbon Pesach in advance. Pesach, they have to be appointed from Erev Pesach. Shabbos, and therefore the first day of Pesach, the Chag HaMatzos, is like Shabbos. Shemisha tarach be'erev Shabbos yochal b'Shabbos. Somebody prepares on Erev Shabbos, he gets to eat on Shabbos because he can't cook on Shabbos. Similarly, if you appoint somebody to your Carbon Pesach on Erev Shabbos, then they can eat on Pesach. But if they're not appointed Erev Pesach, they can't. L'chein kasuv, this is why it says, Usfartam lachem, you count for yourselves mimachar Shabbos, from the day after the day of rest, meaning the first day of Pesach, Zeh Pesach. And Chazal have to tell us that counting the Omer from the day after Shabbos, quote unquote, is Pesach, is the day after Pesach. Shu be'horaso, because it's coming to teach Kamo Shabbos, like Shabbos. So the reason why Pesach is called Shabbos in this pasuk about Sfiras HaOmer is because, like Shabbos, it's about connecting to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not about connecting to other people. So you see that there is two basic concepts for that he has in connecting. There is connecting to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which in turn connects us to other people, because we're all tied together as spokes around the same hub. We're all connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that unifies us into a single nefesh. And then there is the connection directly to other people that we get through mitzvos like Meiser and Truma and Tzedakah and most of the other Yom Tovim, except for the first days of Pesach. There's also, he points out, why there is no argument on Shavuos, that Shavuos has an element of lachem, an element that you're supposed to enjoy yourselves, because the point of Shavuos is to complete this connection with other Jews that we started indirectly on Pesach. And therefore, on Shavuos, we should have the opportunity to celebrate together. And that can only be if there's lachem. If everything is to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, without that, without a chiyuv to have the celebration, then we wouldn't be participating directly with each other. We also, he says, this is why the carbon on Shavuos includes the shtei halechem, 2 breads, and therefore it was chametz, unlike the norm, because on the mizbeach you could only put matzah. You can't put risen bread on the mizbeach. So because the carbon for Shavuos included lechem, that meant that there was a carbon on Shavuos that was from the initial get-go could only be given to the Kohanim, like Truma. Lahoros, to teach the Ikar Achag Hu Lochem, the essence of Shavuos is Lochem, that we should enjoy ourselves. Ravali Labalim, the Kohanim B'makom Balim Kaimei. And that is, it should be for the Balabatim, the heads of the households, the landowners, the common folk. The Kohanim, and the Kohanim are standing in for the common folk when they eat the Shnei Halechem. So I found this very interesting because I had already developed a theory of connection that I opened with. For those who came in the middle, I guess I would recommend just watching the video after it's recorded, because then you could catch from beginning to end. But in any case, so Pesach, the first day of Pesach at least, is a holiday of connecting to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore it is like Shabbos, and therefore we count Omer Macharas HaShabbos, and we count Omer until Shavuos, which is the Ikar of Shavuos is Lachem, for you, so that we could celebrate together, because the Ikar of Shavuos and the concept of Yom Tov in general is more focused on connecting to other people. I hope you found this as profound and as interesting as I did. Hatzlacha Rabba for the rest of the week, and have a great Shabbos.